when it fluctuates to that low point, then he can get them. But that's 331 days in advance minimum, so it's not for several months yet anyway that we could. Yes?
When will you decide, like, there's enough kids to go? Will it be after like the first deposit?
Yeah, when somebody asked me earlier, somebody had to leave, they took the packet and said, well, something I need to sign up, and basically no. Basically what we'll know is when we get this first deposit in, we're going to know, and you know, is there a magic number or not? The magic number for students, honestly, I want to take everybody. I mean, we're going to have 130 or so students in the band. I don't take all 130. I don't think we will, but I would love to. But our magic number really needs to be in the student category at about 50 or more, and I think we'll have that. Out of 130, particularly when we talk to you guys a bit about some of the fundraising opportunities. But I mean, basically when it comes November 1, and we've got this first 150 deposit out of the way, we start looking at some paperwork, people have made that commitment, then we'll know. Now, I'm not going to limit it. If we take all 130 students and all 130 students take 2 parents and a brother and a sister, that's great. I mean, there's no top end on this. We're not going to say, you know, we're cutting it off at this many people. There's a bottom end. There's not a top end. So, you know, hopefully all of us can go. But we'll know once we get that November 1st payment in and working if we're there or not. And I think we will be. Yes, ma'am.
How soon in advance, since seeing is an extra expense, and we need to have our tax loans?
It takes a few months. You don't have to do it right away. Yeah, to process that, and there's an expedited process for an extra fee. I wouldn't mess with that. It's a couple of months to do it, and that information, I should have printed that out, but I didn't. But yeah, it's something.gov, and it's on there. And I did look that up, but it's typically 4 to 6 weeks. I wouldn't cut it right at that 4 to 6 week window, but it's nothing you have to start worrying about immediately.
We'll do an announcement months ahead.
Oh yeah. I mean, we'll have an extensive checklist. Right. Here's what you need to have lined up at certain spots along the way. Yes, ma'am.
We can use the money that's in the student's account as long as the fees have already been paid.
Yes. Okay, so let's get to that. Okay. And the question was, if you're a current high school student, if my child's band fees are paid up and I've got credit ahead, can I use that 40? Yes. Now, remember, we got a 2 school years that we're rolling through here. So both years, your band fees, your yard fees have to be current. But if you're ahead, and several of our folks are, then yes, you can use it. If you've got credit, you can apply it toward this. If you're not ahead yet, but you're tracking, I know that, you know, when Michael talked about the 6 more parking opportunities, that's going to put me here or there, then sure, but that'll have to be communicated. Honestly, to you, you need to communicate it to Carissa, and she'll let me know how many people have the credit. Of course, we'll follow it to make sure it's really there. But yeah, if you've got credit in your
That's
child.
only for the student, correct? Not
Yes. No, we can't. And that's a good question. We can't roll student credit over to somebody else. You can't use the student's credit. Right. So you can stay with the student, but I can't, you know, if you say, well, I can't move it to a parent or a sibling or something like that. Yes?
As far as the passwords are concerned, are the adults going to keep hold of the passwords for the kids? Because it would be really bad if one lost their passport on the way to the airport or something.
That's a bridge we'll cross when we come down to it. But and I thought about that both ways. And basically, I'll do it based on the festival organizer's recommendation. Because I see it 2 ways. I see it as definitely we're going to have somebody, if the kids have them, we're going to have somebody lose it. But at the same time, I sort of hate for the kid not to have it if they were ever needed to prove it. So, yeah. Well, yeah, you have an extension.
So what we do is we recommend that a copy be made of the passport that the student is carrying with them, and that the host family or the person you takes all the passports up and holds them until the day they leave. And if they have a copy with them, like their driver's license and license.
Okay.
So just to give you something.
Good info. Yes. Other questions? I do want to talk about the fundraising opportunities a little bit, but I want to make sure while we're here that I answer any questions you have. Okay, then let's talk about the fundraising opportunities for a little bit as it pertains to getting your $26.95, or frankly, if you're an adult or a sibling, $32.20. It's either way. If you're a current 8th grade student, we've got a number of opportunities that you guys can go ahead and begin to be involved in. And I will put this out there as a disclaimer, okay? Money that you raise through fundraising, if you start the fundraising process right now and you do some of the things that we're going to talk about, if you write us a check and say, here's my $26.95, and then at whatever point before September your child is not in school here, job transfers or whatever, if you paid out of pocket, we can reimburse you. But if you fundraise for it, you can't say, well, I have fundraised $600 through these opportunities, but now, my child's not going to be here. I'd like that $600. If you did it through the fundraising methods, we can't refund it back to you. If it came out of your pocket, we can. If it's through fundraising stuff, we can't. So that's just a disclaimer. We have a number of fundraising opportunities that are ongoing. One of which, and I'm going to let Michael talk about this in a second, is at any event that happens downtown at Finley Stadium, the Sunny Days High School Band Boosters staff all of the parking areas for that. And each person that works there basically gets paid an hourly rate into their band account to do that. And so, Michael, if you want to explain that a little bit. And hey, you're not actually getting in the cars and parking them. You're standing at the entrance taking the money and pointing. But I'll let Michael talk through that a little bit.
Finley parking is easy. Most people that I've talked to their first time, they're scared to death. They think it's something that's going to be a really big deal, but it's not. You get paid $7 an hour. UTC games are the big games. We usually keep about 30 people on staff if we can get that many people there. And you can double it up, triple it up. I mean, not most people. I've got groups of people that go 2 and 3 and 4 at a time. They're making $21, $28 an hour. And all you do is just take $5 parking spaces, 10 during UTC. And you just give change, sell tailgate spots, that sort of thing. It's really easy. Right now, I was telling the group before, we've got 6 dates that are left. We got 3 for UTC. Those are all day. We go from 8 in the morning all the way till 7 o'clock at night. Yeah. 14 and over. 14 and over. They have to have 1 adult. At least 1 adult. They can have 1 adult, 2 kids in each position. That's fine. But as long as they have 1 adult, kids are not allowed to take care of the money. The parent has to be the bank. The kids can take the money from the car, but they can't have a belt, and they don't handle it more than just say, here, Mom, Dad, y'all hold that. And they can make change, but as long as they don't do this. That's Merrill's fear, I think, right there, is they do this. And he doesn't want it ending up in their pocket, and they forget about it. Just a fail-safe. That's really the biggest thing. I mean, UTC.
Can you talk about how they sign up?
Yeah. Yeah. Saudi Daisy High School Bands. SDHS.
You know what the website is?
I got it on favorites, so that's clear.
SDHSband.org.
Yeah. We got a link on there for Finley parking. Just click the link. Mitzi has it laid out. She's our webmaster here. Mitzi Freeman. Just click the link. It'll bring you to another page. Scroll down. You've got to sign up, register, put your name and your information, your email. Please put your email. If you live in this area, we really don't need the 423 on there. I can call you without having the area code. That's great because Skype drives me nuts. Every time I try to print that out, I get that whole line on my Skype page. So I end up having to delete a whole bunch of information as I'm printing out my messages. So just 7 digits is all I need. And put your email address in there because I do try to get in contact with everybody that's working so I can make sure you're coming, if you're going to have problems or whatever. But go to Finley Parking, click the link, sign up your information. It'll bring up the list, how many positions are available, how many are left. If they're all full, sign up on the waiting list because you never know. We can get as many people on the waiting list as we can, and sometimes I've used an entire waiting list because issues come up. We've had ACT practice tests. Anything can happen at home, so just have faith. Yeah, but Finley parking breaks down into, we have high school games, we have UTC games. Sometimes they're putting Chattanooga Market on us. We have Chattanooga Market sometimes. Not as much as we used to. They feel it's not worth the time